When you're exploring a new software build or an AI integration, you face a classic catch-22. You need hard numbers to validate your idea and secure funding, but you can't get an accurate budget until you've already committed resources to scope it out. So you start reaching out for pricing, and you hit a wall. Agencies usually respond in one of two ways. They give you a vague, "it depends," or they throw out an arbitrary, massive lump sum to cover their own downside. The traditional agency pipeline. You submit an inquiry, wait 48 hours, get on a 30-minute intro call, wait another week, then an hour-long scoping session. After all that time, the deliverable is just a loosely defined initial figure. Buyers are currently spending weeks of their own time navigating sales pipelines just to find out if they can even afford to start the project. The DeepSpeed AI project estimator is a direct structural challenge to that model. It takes your project idea and generates a scoped budget, a timeline, and a risk assessment in minutes. You bypass the sales calls and the waiting periods entirely. This diagram shows the DeepSpeed workflow. It's a guided 7-question process that leads straight to an immediate detailed estimate. No account required. To understand if this is actually useful, we need to examine the exact inputs the tool requires, the specific outputs it generates, and the reliability of an estimate built by an algorithm. We have to ask, is an automated estimate grounded enough to make real business decisions, or is this just a highly sophisticated lead capture form? The process begins with your mandatory inputs. The questionnaire asks for a project overview, the core features you need, your business goals, and how flexible your budget actually is. This matrix maps how the AI processes your answers. On the left are your inputs. On the right is the primary output, a dual-track estimate. The system generates one budget and timeline for a lean MVP and a separate track for your complete full-scope build. Creating this output forces a distinct trade-off. The system separates your absolute necessities from your nice-to-have features. If you have a clear, ambitious vision for your product, this forced prioritization can be a highly uncomfortable experience. It requires you to acknowledge that you don't need every feature on day one. By isolating that leaner first version, you see the fastest, most budget-friendly path to getting a usable product into the hands of your users. The AI demands strict discipline upfront about what matters most. In exchange, you get clear options on how to phase your build, avoiding the paralysis of a single intimidating invoice. The tool also accepts optional technical details. If you have an existing codebase, a specific tech stack, or a repository link, you can drop them in. This chart breaks down the resulting financial output. Instead of one flat number, you receive granular cost projections, categorized by backend, front-end, integrations, testing, project management, and design. This breakdown shows a significant skew toward back-end infrastructure and testing. In many builds, these two categories account for more than 60% of the total budget. Buyers often expect their budget to match what they can visually see on the screen. It can be surprising to learn that the user interface is often a fraction of the overall effort. Seeing exactly where the money goes early in the process ensures you understand the technical requirements of your build, preventing sticker shock when development actually starts. Once all parameters are submitted, the AI engine generates two final crucial outputs, an automated risk assessment and a confidence rating. This gauge illustrates how the confidence rating evaluates your project's viability. It measures whether your target timeline and budget are realistic, based entirely on the specificity of your answers. A low confidence score indicates the inputs provided are too general to generate a firm number. It alerts you that more homework is required before the estimate can be considered reliable. This immediate honesty stands in sharp contrast to traditional sales pitches, where precision is frequently overpromised just to keep you moving toward a signed contract. However, skipping the human-led discovery phase means you sacrifice the spontaneous, creative brainstorming that happens when experts review an idea. The engine calculates the cost of every feature you input without questioning if that feature belongs in your product at all. It provides the math for your request, but it won't tell you if your request is based on a flawed premise. The AI perfectly calculates a math of your specifications. It relies entirely on you to ensure those specifications are actually a sound strategy. The project estimator is a highly advanced baseline generator. It is not a legally binding fixed bid contract. How you use it depends entirely on your role. This scorecard breaks down who extracts the most value. Let's look at idea stage founders, corporate product managers, and ready-to-sign buyers. Idea stage founders leverage the MVP breakdown to secure baseline financial viability before wasting months attempting to fundraise. If you are a corporate PM, take the granular cost breakdown and the risk assessment to build a grounded internal presentation. It gives you the exact numbers required to secure budget approvals from leadership. For early-stage planning, securing rapid financial validation is significantly more valuable than waiting weeks for absolute, down-to-the-dollar precision. If you have funding and are a ready-to-sign buyer, your approach is different. Use the estimate as a shared objective starting point. It is your baseline, not your finalized delivery plan. Your necessary next step is to book a follow-up call with DeepSpeed. Bring the estimate, let the human experts validate the AI's assumptions, and refine the scope together. The estimator successfully replaces the "we'll have to scope that out" phase with actionable data you can use immediately. If you are willing to be honest about your requirements, you can bypass the agency waiting game entirely and get a real number today.